Welcome to Viewpoint, a public affairs presentation of your hometown station, 1410 WDOE. The views and opinions expressed on Viewpoint do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the ownership and management of WDOE. And now, here's your host on Viewpoint, WDOE News Director Dave Rowley.
And welcome to Viewpoint. With us this morning, we have a county legislator and the Democrat candidate for county executive, Chuck Cornell. Chuck, welcome to Viewpoint.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Well, you're right in the middle of a campaign for county executive. And how is the campaign going at this point? I guess, 4 weeks from Tuesday?
Yeah, we're under 5 weeks and rapidly coming to Election Day. And, the later you get in a campaign, the quicker it goes. And so, it's rapidly approaching. And I believe that the campaign is going pretty well. My campaign, I don't want to say philosophy, but the centerpiece of my campaign has been going out and knocking on doors. And I've been doing that since May and have been throughout Chautauqua County and met a number of people. And so in that sense, we're continuing on with that shoe leather campaign and, all the other things that come with campaigns in terms of debates and other things will be fastly approaching. And so I think we're in a good position. Now,
you've been on the campaign trail now for a few months. What is the biggest surprise that you've noticed? And another question is, what has not been a surprise?
Well, I think what's not been a surprise is that, I think generally people believe that we need to be doing better in terms of our economy. And not just because we're in a national recession, just because we've had long-term decline in terms of population and our economy in this county. And so in that sense, I wasn't surprised that is the issue that is on people's minds as I travel throughout the county. I think it's relatively clear that people believe we need to step it up. What has been a surprise, and I've lived here my whole life in this county, but I've made developing our housing stock one of the issues I've worked on very hard as a legislator, and one that I'll continue to advocate for as county executive. There are housing issues throughout this county. I think some people have the idea that just in our two cities there are housing issues and nowhere else. But I've been through many villages and towns and cities in this county, and there's no question about it that this is a countywide problem that we need to address.
Now, I know the economy is one of the items, the centerpiece of your campaign, as you mentioned, housing, and you need to have a housing policy being part of that centerpiece. I know recently the State Labor Department came out with the new unemployment stats, 8%, the county's unemployment rate unchanged, while the state the unemployment rate continues to rise. Now, some people on the surface may say, well, that's stable, that's good. Do you agree with that observation?
Well, here's the way I see it. To me, the number one statistic is our population. And I think right now that we're seeing, despite whether the unemployment rate is high or low, obviously we want it to be lower. But the key statistic to me is that we've lost over 2,500 people in the last 4 years. In addition to that, I was talking to somebody in Fredonia recently that was telling me that their graduating class was somewhere around 175 or so, and their kindergarten class is 75. It's not a sustainable path we're on. We're losing population. All the leading indicators are showing it's getting worse, not better. And so people are exiting the county, and that tells me that there's not enough opportunity here. Whether the unemployment rate is 9% or 5%, there's not enough opportunity here, and we clearly need to, in my opinion, move in a drastically new direction to try to create that opportunity.
So what do you see as the county executive's role when it comes to making decisions and possibly trying to bring about a change in the local economy.
Right. Well, the county executive needs to take a lead. The county executive needs to be a leader and saying, here's the direction that I believe we need to go in terms of changing what is a lagging economy. And certainly, you gather people around you, both in government, private sector, higher education, and come up with a strategy to implement. One of the things that I've talked a great deal about is small business startups. At the county, we do not focus on small business startups as a strategy to create jobs, but yet we know that 70% of the job growth nationwide comes from small business startups. One of the bright spots, is SUNY Fredonia has started this incubator program, and that is right along the lines of what I'm talking about, but it's only part of it. And I envision an economic development strategy that focuses on small business startups. A couple different reasons why. Number one, we know that over 50% of college graduates now say that they'd like to start up their own business. That's way up from where it was 20 years ago. So that's a way to create opportunity for people, to keep them here, to have them grow and prosper here in this county. And that's something that I will certainly focus on.